quality of consciousness continues to be a beggar. Right? So therefore, please understand, I'm giving a different paradigm. Just success is not the be-all, end-all. Right? You can be extremely successful and still remain unfulfilled. You can be successful and remain unfulfilled if your content of consciousness is not creative. If your content of consciousness is not really having a quality of alacrity. So here is a person highly tech savvy, but the consciousness continues to be a beggar. This is one of the core issues Indian culture addresses as a part of ancient wisdom management there. So what issues there? Now why is that in spite of being successful, our consciousness continues to be a beggar? Why? And if you really look deeply into it, as a part of a team building, look deeply into it, is because, maybe I'll say an example, it becomes very clear. A man rushes to the 15th floor and says, Sharma, Sharma, your daughter ran away. And the moment this man hears an orthodox Brahmin, Sharma is, daughter ran away, he feels so frustrated, so despondent, so shattered, he jumps from the 15th floor to commit suicide. My daughter ran away. Right? He jumps from the 15th floor, and as his body was coming to the 10th floor, he realizes he's not married only. And as his body was coming to the 4th floor, he realizes he has not got a daughter. Now, without getting married also you can have a daughter, no? He realizes he's not got a daughter. And as his body was coming to the 2nd floor, he realizes he is not Sharma, he is Varma. Friends, when this man was told, Sharma, your daughter ran away, he immediately jumps. His action, was it an action or a reaction? Reaction. It was an action or a reaction? Reaction. The first important insight in the Indian culture is, whatever be the situation of life, which is called paristiti, learn not to react, but learn to respond. Respond is called anukriya, and reaction is called pratikriya. Sharma, your daughter ran away, he immediately reacts. It was pratikriya, reaction, and the more and more you are reacting, your quality of consciousness is in hell. And when you are a hell, you are only a beggar, you really can't be a giver. You really can't be a giver. And even if you give, it is like a businessman who smiles, and even the smiling, he charges the bill. So therefore, first things friends, alright, as a team, ancient wisdom of team is the topic given, and then the reason they don't even talk anything Swami, but inspire the audience. So every time on the spot I have to change. Anyway, I'll cover both. I believe in inclusive growth. So now therefore friends, please see, right, whatever be the situations in life, your team should have the wisdom, should have the acuity, the acumen to go on responding. It's called anukriya. An English word responsibility means the ability to respond is called responsibility. So we need to respond. So market low, rupee coming down, learn to respond, not react, because the more you react, you will be like a person successful opening another branch, but the quality of consciousness, it continues to be a yachak and not a data. Now friends, what was the content of the reaction? Sharma, your daughter ran away. He jumps to the 15th floor. It is a reaction. What is the content of the reaction? What is the content of the reaction, friends? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. If you don't put dam, you become dampati. Pati ka dam nahi ho dampati. Right. Now, why do you say good evening, friends? Why do you say good evening? Because I said so. Why did we say good evening or good morning? Because this evening is good, no? Yes or no, sir? Yes. This evening is good. Let us recognize it. Let us validate it. The sickness of living is we don't realize what we have. This evening is so good, so we are telling our brain, recognize it, validate it. Your job is good, recognize it. Your wife is good, please recognize it. Your neighbors are mean. So this evening is good, recognize it. So because Non-recognition is one of the sickness in living. We don't validate the good job we have got. We don't validate the body we have got. The body operates like a tremendous team, and you are more bothered of the externality and going on up to your internality. So therefore, the evening is good, validate it. And if the evening is not good, let us make it good. That's the psychology of good evening or good morning, isn't it? So how many of us have really meant that when we did this? Is it? Great man. I call that as a smart lie. It's like a teacher asking the student, what's common between Krishna, Buddha and Mahavira? The student replies, all are born on government holidays. Most of us, my feelings, sir, we don't mean that. We said namaste. Have you seen politicians saying namaste? Namaste. Mosquito is crushing. And you say namaste, you know why? You and I in the space of love are one. You may be very different from me, but in the space of love are one. And it is this oneness we should see. Alright, how many of us mean this when you say namaste? How many of us mean it? When you don't mean and you do, what is it called in English? Mechanical. Yantravat ho gaya. Mechanical. Good morning, good morning. Good evening, good evening. Thank you. No mention, but actually mention. Alright, no mention you say. So we are mechanical. Now the next quality in your team you have to be aware. Because the ancient wisdom of team building is what you have asked me, and then you told me you can mix it up and inspire the audience. But please understand, if you are mechanical, aap yantravat ho gaya. You have become like a machine, and you and I are not machines. You and I are conscious beings, isn't it, friends? So this consciousness we have to increase. But the way we are living life, we are very mechanical. Your judgment is mechanical, your opinion is mechanical. In one workshop, from the computer book workshop I was taking, I'm tracking all my best jokes. That person sits right in front of me, not you, sir. And sits right in front of me and just looks at me. No, any joke, he doesn't laugh. I had to stop the speech. Why are you not laughing? He said, why should I laugh? Any question I ask, he says, why? I asked him, what is their name? He said, why Venkatesh? Correctly, our father has given. The rate of divorce, this computer group I was taking, the rate of divorce among the marketing people, the least, I said. The rate of divorce among the IT people are the highest. Again, he says, why? Then I told him, marketing person for any sale which is closed, globally, 16 to 17 times they get rejected. So a marketing person is trained. When somebody rejects his product, he'll smile and give the visiting card. So the wife says the husband, get lost. He'll smile, give the visiting card. But a computer person, wife says, get lost. Husband says, I have to get lost. He goes to Google, then he goes to options. Then the fellow starts smiling. Now everything is mechanical. Please understand. So therefore, please as a team, if somebody is operating mechanically, you are killing the very soul of consciousness, because you and I are conscious beings. So in the team can be sensitive to increase the consciousness of a person and not the mechanicalness of the person. His judgment is mechanical, his opinion is mechanical. Alright? So if you do that, then please you will not be ritualistic in life. Or else you are so ritualistic. A Sufi character called Mullah Nazruddin. Alright, he comes out every day in the morning. There's a pot there. He takes a bucket, mug. The bucket is empty, mug is empty. He just puts it and puts it to the plant. Alright, dono empty hai. Pot is empty, bucket is empty, mug is empty. He continues to do the plant. The neighbor was from Chennai. I have not seen such a thing there 7 days. So he comes to me and says, BP bad gaya. What is the bucket is empty, mug is empty, what is it you're putting there? And Mullah says, makes no difference to the plant. He said, why? Because it's a plastic plant. The ritual of pouring continues. That's what what has happened to many religious leaders also. You talk of love, but the ritual of love you continues, but what you sow is violence. So therefore, please understand, all because yantravat ho gaya hamara jeevan. We have become machines. So as a team, can you be cognizant to the fact that people are not stoic to this perception? Because the stoic nature kills the alacrity of an individual. So therefore, can you be sensitive towards that? So as a team then, when you do this, because if you don't do this, what happens, even though you are stoic, right, your tension increases. The more and more you react, and you become mechanical, and autopilot takes over. When an autopilot takes over, your tension increases. Even though it is mechanical, tension increases. And Lord Buddha very beautifully says, then you don't experience whatever is. Buddha's famous name was called as what? What is Buddha's famous name? Siddhartha was before his enlightenment. His famous name?
Gautam.
It is called Tadhagat. All of you say? So Tadhagat, because he taught a meditation called Tha Tatha. Tha Tatha means, listen very carefully, it's very, very relevant. I know I have only 45 minutes, so I can't do all up too much on it. Right? Tha Tatha means, Buddha says, experience whatever is. Now, you may say, what is so difficult of experiencing what is? Buddha says, very few of us experience whatever is because the experiencer pollutes the experience. And therefore, we miss the experience of the experience. Because the experiencer comes. Maybe I'll give an example to become clear. Alright, from Bangalore, first time a person comes to Bombay. Alright, he wants to go to Hawaii. There's a taxi driver to go to Hawaii. The cab driver was driving the cab. The passenger was from Bangalore, first time to Bombay. He gently taps him on the back to ask a question. And the cab driver, Bihari cab driver in Bombay, gets so panicky. Itna asta vyasta ho gaya. He goes left, right. For 2 minutes he goes haywire. The passenger was confused. Arey kya kiya? Keval sparsh kiya. I only touched him. What happened? Alright. Then fortunately put his brake. Pasina aa gaya. Right, takes a deep breath and turns back and tells the passenger, for heaven's sake, don't touch me while I'm driving the cab. The passenger says, first time I've come, I want to ask you a question. In Bangalore, we touch people. We don't pinch people, we only touch people. Alright, then immediately, Bombay cab drivers are like soda bottle. Gussa aata hai, come ho jata hai. He cools down and he turns back and says, not your problem, it's my problem. Says the taxi driver. The passenger says, what is the problem? He says, today is the first day I'm driving the taxi. And then the taxi driver says, for 25 years I've been driving a van. The passenger gets more confused. 25 years I've been driving a van. Today is the first day I'm driving a taxi. Hey, kya bada fark hai taxi or van mein? What is the big difference? And the taxi driver says, 25 years van, today is the first day taxi. In the van, I was carrying dead bodies. So when you touch me, I got Bhutan prayed. So therefore, friends, see, the past polluted the present, isn't it? The past, being a van driver carrying dead bodies, polluted the present. So therefore, did the taxi driver experience the experience of patting?
No.
No. The experience got polluted, ravaged, victimized by his past. So the past, the experiencer, pollutes the experience, and therefore you don't experience an experience. Have you seen you go to a doctor for injection? You put your head this side, doctor touches you, you scream. The doctor said, I only put alcohol strip. So most of us, please, says Buddha says, we don't experience an experience. Alright? The experiencer, your past, your dogmas, your opinion, your conclusions, your likes, your dislikes, pollutes itself, and therefore you don't experience an experience. And we are very smart, all educated people. We are very good in giving smart answers. Like an IT fellow, target, his tension increases, so therefore to release his tension, alright, he can't be office hours, drink, etc. So he keeps his wife's photograph on the wall. Biggest tension there. His wife's photograph. Everyone target, this is the biggest target for him. And takes darts, to release his target. Tension takes darts and he hits. The target. And immediately wife's phone call comes. Sweetheart, darling, lollipop, what are you doing? Is a call. And the husband says, I'm missing you. Truthful statement, but deceptive. Truthful statement, I'm missing you, but deceptive. And that's what we fool ourselves and cheat ourselves. We give it appears we give truthful statement, but we are very, very deceptive. How many people come and I take workshops to all cross-section of people. And I go to Bombay, the most naughtiest people. Or I take workshops, they come and tell me, Swamiji, you are not married, so you tell, be happy. You get married to my wife, then you will see. People recommend wives, still I have survived. Smart. So therefore, please get this. Therefore, right, in a team you have to be sensitive to these errors and these viruses which pollute the beautiful software which your research has created. Now, therefore, in the Indian context, we say, as a part of team building, it says, Atmavare Drashtavyam. In the Veda, this says, first learn the art, the acuity, the acumen of seeing. Drashtavyam means seeing. Philosophy in Sanskrit is called as what? Darshan. In Hindi also is called darshan. Darshan means what? Seeing. Now, in your team, you should you should empower them to see factually. Because people see distortedly. They don't see factually. Now, you may say, what's so difficult? Philosophy, word in Sanskrit and Hindi is called darshan, seeing. And in the corporate context, because I've done research on how to take spirituality to the corporate world, I said, are you factually seeing the problem? Most of us don't factually see the problem, we see it very individualistically. And therefore, when you see individualistically, the perceiver pollutes the perception, and you perceive the perceived and as an extension of the perceiver and have the illusion you are perceiving the perceived. But a perceiver pollutes the perception. So when I talk for the corporatism, what's so difficult in seeing? I said, you're not seeing. So therefore, it's a beautiful example. I've created this beautiful example. It shows husband and wife, Reddy Garu and Mrs. Reddy Garu, Rayalaseema Galata. Now Jagan Reddy has come out there. So therefore, to burn their black money, they go all the way holiday to Benares. Before further pollution happens to Andhra, he goes to Benares, husband and wife. They go to the place, and Benares is famous for what? Silk sarees. So therefore, as they are going on, they have to burn their black money as they are going on. And the wife tells the husband, Reddy Garu, pocket kali cheyandi. Means empty a pocket in Telugu. Empty a pocket. And the husband says, why? Hey, idiot, see there, no. He tells the husband, see there. On the shop, it is cotton sarees, 5 rupees. Nylon sarees, 7 rupees. Silk sarees, 10 rupees. My God, in Hyderabad is 3,000. Benares 10 rupees. Pocket, empty a pocket. We'll buy as many silk sarees. And the husband tells the wife, "Ye Sundari ka maa, ye istri ka dukaan hai." Ye istri ka dukaan is a laundry shop. Now tell me, she saw rightly and still it was wrong. Yes or no? Right. She saw rightly. Silk sarees 10 rupees. But context was different. Even though she saw, it was a laundry shop. So this is what happens. You think you are seeing the problem rightly. But if your ignorance, your ego plays, एक प्रक्षेपण हो जाता है और यथार्थ रूप से ग्रहण नहीं करता है. विपरीत रूप से ही ग्रहण होता है. You don't see actually, you see your own projections. So first thing, please see, as a leader, as a team, are you seeing a problem factually? Because